Hello and welcome. I'm your host, Jim Hunt, founder of Amazing Cities, and we're very pleased that you've stopped by on this great tour of a great American neighborhood. When we look at Greenwich Village, we can only think that we'll be lucky enough to have some of the foods that are available. A lot of interesting shops and stores that just really welcome you in. And once you're inside, the merchants are really thrilled to let you know about the unique merchandise that they sell. And we look up and we see some of the architecture from our history. We've seen a lot of it in movies and television shows over the years. And little quaint areas in the neighborhood. The Cherry Lane Theater is just a beautiful place and one that really fits in well with the neighborhood. And stores like Murray's Cheese Shop is just fantastic, and the variety of cheeses is unbelievable. So there we have it, a great neighborhood, great food, great shopping, great history, and great buildings. What more could we ask? But then we do think, how do we go from great to amazing? Let's look at some of the issues that affect this great neighborhood. As we look around, we see the vandalism and the graffiti that just pervades throughout the neighborhood. We also look at areas that simply cannot be around. I mean, we look at the possibilities of kids and elderly folks tripping. We look on the right to the tree grate, something that could have taken just a little bit of time to properly install. And you look, there was a brand new sidewalk installed, and they did not take the time to just simply cut this out and fit it in so that it doesn't present the type of danger that it is. We look at another piece of history. This tree box has probably been there since the 1950s. And a truck obviously is backed into it. But with a little tender loving care, we can weld this back and get this fixed up without a major rehab. We look at the mailbox in the back and recognize that this is something that's really detracts from the appearance of the neighborhood, but people pass by it every day seemingly without noticing. Here at one time was the mighty oak, and we look at this and see that this is a sign of decline, of deterioration. And we recognize that even if we're not going to put the tree back in, by planting flowers, by putting a coat of paint on the railing, by scraping off the rust at the bottom of the red post, and even here, they replaced a new sidewalk and allowed people to graffiti into that, is terrible. Here we have one that's really a pet peeve of mine, utility painting. We look at this and think, is this going to be suddenly erased after the utilities are fixed? Probably not, and in many cases they don't even dig on the areas where the lines are. They're simply indicating where they are. But this needs to be something that's cleaned up or power washed and not just left forever. Here's a hydrant, a necessary amenity in a neighborhood, but this one doesn't really inspire confidence. The caps are missing, and the posts that surround it have been stickered and posted, and you have one yellow, one unpainted. This certainly can be improved, and something really in a small way, but a big improvement. Here's a brand new sidewalk, but let's point out some of the problems. Here you look at the upper area where they've allowed the concrete just to smear over this metal grate. They've looked at the blue tape that's on here to probably protect the sealant in the cracks, but no one came back and cleaned it up and removed it. We look at the lower part on this nice grate, and they allowed the cement to pour into this, and it just creates a very unattractive, and it just gives an overall sloppy appearance to what otherwise was a very good improvement. Well, welcome to the neighborhood. Millions of people visit Greenwich Village each year, and this is the welcome they get. And this didn't all happen overnight. This is things that just build up over the years that are not taken care of and not really addressed. So what we look at is we're not talking about huge investments. Cities have become addicted to digging up and tearing up blocks of their downtowns and putting in new streetscapes. But as we can see, most of the issues in these previous pictures can really be fixed for just a couple $100. And it also inspires volunteerism and community input, allowing the community to take part in this event. So the steps to success, let's make this better. Create the team. Find out who's willing. Put together a team, whether it's homeowners, merchants, interested parties, but get that team together and put them together. The next is making a list of objectives. What do we want to do? What are things that a group of volunteers could do? What are things that might need to be turned over to the city to get some priority list to see what we can do? And also a very important step is coordination with city government. Contact your elected officials, contact public works and departments to make sure that what you're doing is fitting in with what the city is wanting to do in the neighborhood. Nothing's worse than doing something like this and having the city stop a very valiant effort to really clean up and fix up a neighborhood. And then we start thinking about assembling the materials. Nothing's worse than having 30 or 40 people show up on a Saturday morning and have no garbage bags or no brooms or gloves. These are the things, the logistics that really need to be put in place. And then promote the effort. This used to be a pretty difficult task. Now with Facebook and social media and other email and so forth, we're able to really promote the effort and get a group, an event publicized and get the word out. And then when we complete the project, let's celebrate the project. Let's put together the team. Let's get a local restaurant, maybe a pizza parlor, to provide pizzas and other things for people so that they'll feel that they are part of something big in the neighborhood. And then most important is following up. When we've done some of these great works, we need to follow up and make sure that it continues on. And maybe there's no greater watchman than having, let's say, a homeowner or merchant that lives across from a mailbox that they spend hours on a Saturday cleaning up. They'll make sure to keep these places protected. So there you have it. What a great neighborhood, Greenwich Village in New York City. And it really can go from great to amazing. These are just small steps that really lead to big results. And as we look around, we recognize that these are things we have to methodically go after and do the organization. It doesn't take a lot of time, but it does take some time. So, thanks for joining us. There will be another amazing visit. We're going to be traveling around the country, and we really are excited to have this opportunity to really put a little polish on these great cities across America and take them from great to amazing. This is Jim Hunt, your host, and welcome back to Amazing Cities to see a future visit. Thanks so much.